How do you pick yourself back up? Ladies, good morning. Welcome back to the Feet King Show. We are live, I believe, from StreamYard. I've been saying that we're going live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and I have my producer extraordinaire, Sekou Wright, who, let me tell you, if it were not for Sekou Wright, this would not be happening in this way. And we are working out the kinks. One of the things that I've learned that really resonated with me, she was able to drive it home in a way where no one else has. And I listen to the thought leaders. I study the people, whether it's Gary V, there's so many, Les Brown, what's his name? Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Napoleon Hill. The name, it's endless. The work is endless. Esther and Jerry Hicks, asking, it is given. Not until my mentor, Arlen Hamilton, not until my mentor, Arlen Hamilton, said this in her book, Your First Million. She says, do the thing in front of your audience. Do the thing in front of your audience so that if and when you fail, you'll be able to teach them exactly what you did and what you're doing different to garner success. I'm paraphrasing. And so I love what Sekou writes, and I just did, because oftentimes people will put off until tomorrow what they could do today because they want it perfect. They want to know all of the things. They want to get it right. They want to look good all the time on social media. There's a line from White Men Can Jump, Woody Harrelson, which is hands down one of my favorite artists. He says in the movie with he and what's his name? Wesley Snipes. He says, Black people would rather look good than, and I'm paraphrasing again, Black people, and because they're talking about basketball, and he said, Black people, brothers would rather look good than to look bad. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. Basically, people would rather create the illusion that everything's fine, that they're successful, they're happy, they're beautiful, like Beyonce says, I wake up like this. No, you don't. At least I don't. I don't wake up like this. I've got lights. I've got some makeup on. I've got a filter going on because I don't always look like this. Most of the time I feel like this. Let's go. Welcome back to the Feet King Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Feet King. The Feet King Show is all about who are you on a cellular level when you're going through it, when you're happy, when you are in the cave. Who are you? What do you do? What's your why? How in the world are you keeping your thing all together? i.e., what is your self-care modality? Happy day after Mother's Day. Who are you when you've lost a parent? Who are you when you may have not had the most magical relationship with your parent? Yesterday was my first Mother's Day where I was in absolute bliss from the time I woke up until the time I fell asleep. I had the most incredible day. I tend to forget that Mother's Day is happening because my mother transitioned in 2011, and there's a shift that occurs. And so I literally forgot about Mother's Day. And because Sekou has two mothers, I was able to honor them and wish them a happy Mother's Day. And then I got excited. I was like, you know what? Let me send out some text messages to some of the mothers that I know, whether they are, I sent a text to my auntie, my Aunt Nell on my father's side. I probably sent out 20 or 30 text messages. Sekou writes, and I attended virtual church with Rev Melissa, who's a mother. The service was, it hit me. It hit me in the most sweetest spot. We were outside running. It was raining. I turned church on because I said to Sekou, I said, I don't want to miss any of it today. I don't want to miss any of the service. I thought about my cousin Rosetta, who transitioned, who, when I say she was not a fan of Mother's Day. She wanted no parts of this holiday, even though I knew that. I wanted to ensure that, at least in my mind, that I was the first one to wish her a magical, yummy, delicious Sunday. I wouldn't say Mother's Day mostly. I would say Sunday. And I thought about her, and I didn't get sad. And I thought, okay, I'm growing through the mourning process. And Sekou writes and I watched movies, and we watched the best movies. We watched 3 movies, and I said, this is a magical Sunday. Why? Because I made it up in my mind that no matter what and no matter who, I am going to have a yummy, delicious, positive, productive, possible, happy day. And it worked. I did. All right. So the question on the table today is, what's more important, what they say about you or what you say about you? And what they think about you or what you think about yourself? Oftentimes, we are looking for external validation, external stimulation, when what we ought to think about is, on a cellular level, what do I think about myself? What am I saying to myself? What am I doing to myself? Yesterday in church, virtual church, so Rev Melissa is the senior minister of Rockland CSL Church. And she's talking about celebrating your life while you're here versus when we have a funeral service or a memorial. People tend to come out and say all of these nice, kind, or sometimes not so nice and kind things about someone who's transitioned. And when she said that, I thought, oh my gosh, that was me. At my mom's service, I mean, I went in. I said what I needed to say, and I didn't care who was offended by it. I just didn't care, because in my mind, that was the appropriate place to do it. And it may not have been, but it's too late. I did it. And I don't feel any way about it. And so when she said that, I thought, that's how I hope I live my life. I hope that I'm living my life, celebrating my life every day, because not only is tomorrow not promised, but today is not promised for any of us. And that is always in the forefront of my mind. So I'm listening to service and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to get emotional, because I'm choosing to have a magical, yummy, delicious, positive, possible, productive day. I'm choosing that. She goes on to say that in celebrating your life, God wants us to be in, and I'm paraphrasing, God wants us to praise and worship. And so part of praise is really celebrating. It's dancing, it's singing and moving. And that resonated with me. She then goes on to share a story when she was in, we'll call it seminary school. She graduated from the University of Santa Monica Spiritual Psychology, Santa Monica University of Spiritual Psychology. part of her assignment with one of her mentors was to write her obituary. Yeah. And, during service, we're not supposed to multitask, but I was talking to Sekou because I said, I love that. He was like, you do? I said, yeah, I feel like as an actor, I did something similar to that. And I don't recall exactly what it was. And on one end of the spectrum, it felt a little creepy to think about your obituary. And then I got the opportunity to hold back the tears because everything that she was sharing with us and encouraging us to do was in alignment with who I am right now today and where I am. I created a group on Facebook titled Never Again. There are two components to the group. One is to proclaim and to get clear about what are the things that you're never again going to be. Never again are you going to allow. What are you never again going to say? Never again going to be. The other component is getting your house in order. Every time someone who's close to me shifts, transitions from this earthly sphere into this spiritual sphere, I'm changed. I am transformed. When my mother shifted, I was in the hospital room when she took her last breath. And you've heard these things in movies, and I didn't think it was real. And instantaneously, I felt, oh my God, like I knew I was different. I was like, I am no longer who I was before this moment. When my cousin Rosetta transitioned, I missed it by 6 days. And I knew that I was not going to be the same. Like my purpose in life was becoming even more clear. When I created this group, I said, I want to take on the responsibility of helping people to get their house in order while I publicly help myself get my house in order. One of the things that people, I'm just going to say people, because I don't have proof that it's just the African American community. I'm basing that on my own experience that we don't like to talk about death. So I wonder if other cultures, so if you're listening to the Fee King Show and you're Asian, Latin, Native American, whatever, if you're from another country, if in your culture you are comfortable with talking about death and talking about legacy and talking about how you want to leave this earth or who you want to leave things to, do you have a will? Have you named an executor over your estate? Do you have life insurance? Is it a whole life? Is it term life? Do you understand the difference between a whole life policy? Do you understand the difference between a term life policy? Do you understand cash benefit? Do you understand burial insurance? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want a service? Do you want doves being released? All the things. Do you want a casket? What kind of casket? There's so many things, right? But while we're living this life, we actually get to make a decision on how we want our final days or how we want to be laid to rest. I thought about this when I spent time with my cousin Rosetta, and my cousin Rosetta and I were more like sisters. We had been having this conversation for years. I was clear because she told me how she wanted to be laid to rest. She was clear because I told her. She did so many things right. And then there are some things that she just didn't know to do. And now we're finding out after the fact. There are opportunities for us to create legacy upon legacy upon legacy if we simply would move out of our own way. And if we simply would understand that life is death. We did not come here to live forever. That is, I don't know of anyone who has accomplished that. Rev Melissa said that her assignment was to write her own obituary, and she resisted. She was like, I'm not doing that. That is not what I'm gonna do. Because she trusted the process, she did it, and she shared with us her obituary. So many of the things that she shared has come to pass. She wrote the obituary in 2012. Some things she manifested happened in 2018. Some things happened before 2012, which is when she wrote her obituary, and it was beautiful. Because as much as you think people know you, no one knows you like you. No one knows what you want the way that you know what you want. No one knows what you experienced while you were here the way that you did, because you lived it. I'm encouraging you, if you're open to this task, if you're open to this challenge, to join my group, Never Again, Never Again. Find it on Facebook. I wish I had the link, but I don't. And open yourself up to writing your obituary and feeling those experiences, the uncomfortableness and the uncertainty of it, maybe even the fear of it. But again, no one knows you the way that you know you. The other thing is, in the group we're going to be sharing, I have my insurance agent. His name is Darvell Williams. What's up, Darvell Williams with New York Life Insurance? The one thing that happened for me and to me when my mother transitioned is I didn't say never again. However, I moved with that in mind, because immediately I got life insurance. And now let me share something with you. When my mother transitioned, I was in transition as well. I was in the process of moving from LA to Omaha. I lived in Calabasas. Calabasas. I was renting a beautiful, beautiful studio apartment from Tico Wells of the Five Heartbeats. And me and that dude became really good friends. I remember Tico saying to me, Fee, are you sure you want to give up your apartment? Because, you don't know, right? And I just was not trying to have that conversation with Tico. I was just like, Tico, I'm going to Omaha to be with my mom. What he was saying is what if she passes either shortly after you get there or before you get there? And for me, I was just like, I was so steadfast and focused on getting there, had a plan. And I tell you something, I've said this before, if you want to make God laugh, tell God your plans. I received a call maybe 3 weeks before I was planning to actually move. The call said, you need to get here. And I was like, so you mean, no, you need to get here. If you can get here today, you need to get here today. And I'm like, oh my God. So I got there just in time to be with my mom when she transitioned. And Tico was right, because I gave up my apartment. So I technically was homeless. I made some calls. My best friend who had already transitioned, her family took me in and treated me like these people. The Pinions have always treated me like family, always treated me like a daughter, and they took care of me. Like, I was able to be in a safe place to mourn and to recover. And so one of the things that I committed myself to, even in a state of being homeless and giving up my training business, because I was leaving LA for Omaha. I said, I've got to have life insurance, because I don't want to be a burden to my sister. I don't want to be a burden to anyone. I don't want people to not be able to mourn me while they're trying to do a GoFundMe or something like that. And there's no judgment against that, because I've done numerous GoFundMe. I just did not want that for myself. I had done my one-woman show, met Darvell Williams. He came to see my show a couple times. And I remembered that he told me, he was in the life insurance industry. I called Darvell. We made it happen. To this day, out of all of life's ups and downs and ins and outs and uncertainties, I have maintained my whole life insurance policy. I'm in the process of increasing the face value of my whole life insurance policy. Darvell will be in the group to help you navigate that process, because what I learned from Darvell is that not only is this a life insurance policy with a death benefit, but it's also a retirement vehicle. So that if at a certain time in your life, maybe you're 65 or 70, if you want to pull some of the dividends out of the policy to live on, to live off of, you can. I was like, what? That is amazing. So that's why I'm in a place where I really want to, I am determined to increase the face value of that policy. So in this group, I'll be sharing documents so that you too can really start to get your house in order and create legacy and wealth for people that you love, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a charitable organization, whether it's your children, your grandchildren, your aunties, your nieces, your nephews, great nieces and nephews, whether it's your friends. Like, it's time for us to start having those conversations. Sekou Wrights said that he is going to accept the challenge to write his obituary, and we are doing that. We are going to write our own obituaries. And I want to know who out there feels really uncomfortable about that, but yet you're going to say yes and do it. You're going to be uncomfortable and do it anyway. Woo! I'm excited and I'm nervous because I'm like, what am I going to say about myself? What am I going to say about myself? But what I say about myself and what I think about myself is far more important than what anyone else out there can say and has said and thinks about me. Take that one on. Take that one on for size. All right, let's get into this hat game as we thank some of our sponsors. A couple people that I would like for you to follow is the one and only. Here we go, because I'm doing this on my own. Why? Because I can, right? We get to learn on the cup. I want you to follow I Am Red.
Just checking. Okay, you got it. Yay. Go ahead.
Stalker Boo. That is Stalker Boo. If you don't know that guy is Sekou Wrights of Get Rich 101. And he too is someone that I would like for you to follow. Sekou Wrights teaches a class every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, titled The Weekend Hustle. This morning, because I said yes to being uncomfortable, because I said yes to starting where I am with what I am and starting over, I started to invest in stocks during COVID, which was the scariest, uncertain, the most uncertain time for all of us. And I said yes. This morning, because I started taking his class and learning more about penny stocks, my stock was up. I actually sold and I made a profit of $3.72. Whew, a slow nickel beats a fast dime any time of the day. We are determined to become millionaires so that we can be of service to more people, so that we can do this work from our cups being full, just being full. Thank you, Sekou Wrights, Get Rich 101. Follow him. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you so much, Her Glow. Her Glow Candy Shop. I absolutely love everything that she does, who she is, what she stands for. I love her business model. I love her conversation piece accessories, her ear candy. I am dripping with sweet, yummy, delicious ear candy. That's herglowcandyshop.com. Check her out online. Get your own candy on. Thank you so much to my sponsor. He does my intro music, my edited video, my beats. He is the producer extraordinaire. He lives on the island of St. Thomas. Free Your Soul Publishing. That is Bobby Tamir. Bobby is actually in the NYC right now, so I'm looking forward to getting to see him again and to introduce him to my fiance, Sekou Wrights. Thank you so much to me. Thank you, Fee King, for staying the course. Thank you, Fee King Holdings, for saying yes. Thank you, Fee King, for knowing when to pivot, even though it's scary, even though it makes me uncomfortable. Thank you, Fee King, for being an entrepreneur. Thank you, Fee King, for facilitating 5 day at a time fitness challenges. My next one is coming up next Monday. So we have 7 days to join that. That one is the wrap and snatch. Get your waistline right and tight. The wrap and snatch. Get your waistline. Get your waistline right and tight. Get it right and tight. And thank you so much, Fee King, for going down the rabbit hole, figuring out ways that you can support women over the age of 40 right where they are. This coming Thursday, May 16th, is my first live class tutorial on wood tool therapy. I'm super excited about that. You can register today. It's Thursday, May 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If for some reason you're not able to attend live or the entire class, it's going to be pre-recorded. So there are opportunities to take advantage of the pre-recorded webinar version. And let's see, what else do we have? I think we have one more thing. Let's see. Brand. Yes, I'm looking for that link. Sekou is reminding me of something else. So I'm going to find it because I put it in here and I don't see it. And it's the link. So as you all know, maybe you don't because you're just tuning into the Fee King Show, I created a movement. It's titled A Social Experiment, where I'm asking 1 million people, one individual person, cumulatively 1 million people, to gift me $1 each. And it's so important that copied. I need it to go back out, and I'm going to go in and create this banner because it is, like I said, that important. Yep. Sekou's like, yep. Nope, I think I got it. I think I got it, sir. Show. Here it is. All righty. And so people have been sending $1, and then people like Demetrius Short and Donna Marie and Red Melissa and Sekou Wright have been gifting more than $1, which is such a blessing. Thank you. And yes, you can do that, but you don't have to. You can actually help me to complete this social experiment of raising $1 million. One of the things that my mentor, Arlen Hamilton, says is that wealthy people collaborate and they create partnerships. Wealthy people raise money, whether it's via venture capital, a loan, grants, angel investors, benefactors, or crowdfundies. They raise money so that they can attract people with more money to help manifest their vision. I have a vision of not only working with the unhoused and homeless community, but I have a vision of ending homelessness in this country. Because if we don't do something drastic, it is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. For me, seeing people living on the streets, whether I'm in New York City, Baltimore, whether I'm in San Francisco, LA, is not normal. And it's becoming more normalized. Like, people are becoming a lot more desensitized to it. Like, oh, there's a person who lives on the street. Oh, there's a person who hasn't eaten in several days. Oh, there's a person who doesn't have shelter, clothing, water. No, I don't ever want that to be normal in my lifetime. And so I'm asking people to gift $1 through Ko-fi. Here's the link. Write it down. 1 from 1 million people. Social experiment. I'm then, because I'm doing this publicly, so I want you to see me fail and I want you to see me succeed. I want you to see me fail and I want you to see me succeed. However, there is no failure as long as you are making an attempt. So I've already succeeded because of the fact that I have the gall to do this. I'm then going to teach others how to manifest and implement their social experiment. I thank you in advance for your support. I thank you in advance for your belief. And I thank you in advance for thinking this girl's crazy. Because yes, I am. I'm actually crazy enough to believe that this will work. All right. This is the Fee King Show. We are going to be live on many more platforms, like I said, this month. And I didn't know the how, right? Because I know that the how is not my responsibility. The how is God's work. And God worked that thing out. God has been working things out on your behalf in the background. And I want you to acknowledge it and to believe it and to continue to trust the process. It is a process. And think about all of the things and all of the times that God has gotten you out of some things, because God has been working it out for you on your behalf in the background. and the forefront. This is the Fee King Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Fee King. It goes down, God willing, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. If you're interested in sponsoring the Fee King Show, which means you get your banner to scroll across the bottom or the top of the screen. You also get mini commercials made out of the Fee King Show to be shared on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I have almost 90,000, a 90,000 person potential reach, and it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. So share the good news. Sharing is caring. If you found any value in the Fee King Show, I lovingly invite and encourage you to share. All right, I bid you life, love, peace, prosperity, possibility, positivity, not just for today or the rest of this week, but for your entire life condition. We're out. Peace.